1.2 is all about the order of operations. This is going to be broken down into 4 sections. So let's just take our time and go through it and see what's going on. You've probably seen the order of operations before. You've probably seen the memorization of the technique of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The general idea of that was that you would remember PEMDAS as your technique there. The general idea is it's the same everywhere, and that's the PEMDAS part. And again, italicized part here, P stands for parentheses, E is for exponents, M is for multiplication, D is for division, A is for addition, S is for subtraction. The problem with PEMDAS is that a lot of teachers, they don't purposefully do it, but they forget to point out that even though it's like this, these two are actually on the same level and these two are actually on the same level. And so we'll talk about what that means in just a little bit today and get it more into it on the next section, just to kind of make sure you get it. But whatever you know, if you think you already know how to do it, just make sure you empty your mind a little bit, because there is a slight shift that you might need to make that you did not know before. The essential question of the day is, why are the order of operations important? And that's because math is universal. Calculations in our school should match every other school in every other city, state, and country. Someone working out a problem in Australia and someone working out a problem in Canada or Mexico should get the same answer no matter what, because math is a language that is universal. And so what the order of operations does is it gives us a guide, and the way you can think about the order of operations is like a judge that determines which answer is actually correct. So if we look at these two examples, and we have them in our notes, and you have one student that says, I believe subtraction is better because I just like subtraction, so they do 8 minus 4 first, which is 4 plus 1, which gives us the answer of 5. You might have another student who says, I don't like subtraction, so I'm going to do addition first, and so they would do 8 minus 5 here because they did 4 plus 1 first, and 8 minus 5 is 3. Notice how we have two answers. Now we need a judge to tell us which one is right, and we'll come back to which one is actually correct. For right now, you can kind of think for yourself to see which one you think is right, but we'll come back to it. In terms of the rules, I think that order of operations works better if you can make sense of it. And so what I would do is I would think of addition and subtraction as students in a lunch line. When you think about a lunch line, male students are not allowed to cut in front of female students just because they're males. And also females are not allowed to cut in front of male students just because they're females. So pretty much the way you determine who to feed first is you feed whoever is in line first. So it does not matter about your gender, it just matters who showed up first. And so if we had the list of these people in line, Jim, Jane, Nadine, Matt, Kim, and Lonnie, and I was a person coming out with a lunch plate, it wouldn't make sense for me to walk all the way to give Nadine food first, or it wouldn't make sense for me to walk all the way back here and give Matt his food first. The first person I would feed is Jim, because Jim is first. The next person I would feed is Jane. The next person I would feed, Nadine, then Matt, then Kim, then Lonnie. And when you look at it, it makes sense. It's pretty simple. You just feed the first person that's in line, then the first person that's in line, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. The thing that people do again though is they make it difficult because they forget that order of operations again makes sense. So when it comes to addition and subtraction, just be sure to work out the operation that is first in line. And that's really all it comes down to. Once you understand that, it's pretty easy. So looking at this problem here, 4 plus 5 minus 2 minus 1 plus 3. These are all students, which means the first thing you want to do is 4 plus 5, which makes 9, and then rewrite everything carefully, which is 9 minus 2 minus 1 plus 3. Looking at this line, the first person in line is 9 minus 2, which is 7 minus 1 plus 3. Looking at this, the first person in line is 7 minus 1, which is 6 plus 3, or 9. And that's it. The thing you don't want to do is jump over this student or this plus sign for a minus, or jump over anything else. If it's only plus or minus in your line, you work out the one that is first all the time. That's the first key you got to remember. Here you have 9 minus 6 first in line with plus 2 minus 5 plus 6. That turns into 3 plus 2 minus 5 plus 6. First one in line here is your 3 plus 2, so 5 minus 5 plus 6. First one in line here is 5 minus 5, which is 0 plus 6, which gives you 6. My advice is that you take one operation at a time, because people miss things whenever they don't do that. And so you also want to make sure, if you want all your points on your quizzes for me, that you do that, because for me, if you don't show all those steps, I take all the points. I don't give half credit, because this is important that you prove to me that you know how to do these steps for those things. Nine plus 6 plus 1 minus 4 minus 2. Again, the first person in line here, I don't care what's behind it. These are all addition subtraction signs. And so we turn 9 plus 6 into 15 and rewrite everything else. Then we turn 15 plus 1 into 16 and we rewrite everything else. We turn 16 minus 4 into 12, rewrite everything else. We then turn 12 minus 2 into 10, and that is it. Again, it's not hard, just make sure you practice it the way it is done here. 10 minus 2 minus 3 minus 1 plus 7, this turns into an 8, and you bring down everything else. This turns into a 5, and you bring down everything else. This turns into a 4, and bring down everything else, and in the end you get 11. I recommend that you underline the parts that you're doing the operations on, because as this gets more complex, you'll have to rewrite things, and you're going to have to know what's in front of what you did as well as what's behind what you did, and it'll help keep you organized and help keep you from making any crazy mistakes. In terms of order of operations, this is the first experience in algebra that forces you to be patient and work out a problem one step at a time. Don't rush through those problems. The thing that it is, a lot of the math that we're going to get into this year requires for you to be able to rewrite things that you had not worked with. And if you don't know how to do that, then it's going to cause you issues, which is why most of your teachers will require that you show all the steps, because you need to work on the skill of simplify, rewrite, and just kind of do that over and over and over again. Outside of that, just make sure you do your best on this lesson. Again, ask questions on things you don't understand, and things should work out. Good luck.